I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Wow, I have a lot to talk about today. It's technology mixed in with why I decided to drop out the race of running for state senate. So, let's go into my history a little bit. So, my name is Kimberly Cloud. I developed the Kimberly Cloud Show back in December 7th, 2021. And I always go back in my history for those new people that don't know anything about me. So, pretty much, it started out with wigs. It started out doing like wigs and everything. And then it graduated. I would do little skits about wigs. I would actually play my cello, um, which I broke it. But, it was good. It was really good. And it was really a fun time taking the time to repetition and doing things that were great for not only me mentally wise, but the audience that I had. So I'm gonna go way back. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but I'll tell the story with me getting my degrees. I started off going to Miller Mott Technical College, and I took a bunch of psychology classes and classes where I learned what a myocardial infarction was, and that's a heart attack. Myo, muscle, cardio, the rhythm of the heart, infarction, unrhythmic beat. So it's not beating normally. Um, that's how they break down their language. And so I took those classes for a little bit. It was fun, but I didn't graduate. So fast forward back to Hopkinsville Community College. I took a couple of classes there, remedial classes, but did not graduate. So after Hopkinsville, which is in Kentucky, right down the street from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And after that, fast forward, I ended up going to Hawaii Pacific University. And I actually tested into some remedial and some where I took logic. Man, you don't want to take logic. I done been taking classes for 20 years almost. But you don't want to take logic. That is a very hard class unless you really, really want to be an attorney. I don't see how people do it. That's a tough course, man. A tough cookie to crack. So fast forward, I ended up at Baltimore City Community College. I didn't graduate from Hawaii Pacific University HECM office, but I enjoyed every minute of it. I was trying to get my associates. Oh, the reason why I didn't take remedial classes is because the classes that I did take from Hopkinsville transferred over. So anyway, so I went to Baltimore City Community College where I tested. You had to take a test for math, and I ended up taking remedial classes again and getting good grades. And as you can see, I have three, one, two, and three certificates, not certificates, two certificates, one associate's degree in science. And sat up there, and I was living in a ghetto where their washing machines did not work. Their washing machines did not work. They worked, but they weren't servicing them or cleaning them out right. Some people would leave their clothes in there for days without rinsing them, and they became like a mildew smell. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. This is a reason to show hard work, dedication, and a tunnel vision towards your goal. So I washed my clothes, and my clothes ended up smelling like mildew. So I was clean. My clothes smelled like mildew. And I would walk to school in the rain, in the sunshine, in the snow. I would catch the bus. Sometimes if it's raining, I would catch the bus. If it's snowing, I would catch the bus, but sometimes I would just walk if it was a good day. And I would get picked on. I would get picked on. And I didn't care no more. I was like, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to get my degree. I blinked and there was my associates. After I graduated in 2016, I upgraded my house to Reisterstown Square Apartments in Baltimore, Maryland. No matter where you went, though, there was always a problem with rodents. Like, I'm seriously, no matter where you went, even downtown had a problem with. It was a beautiful apartment too, with my ex-husband, but like it. To be honest, they had a problem at the main place that people from out of town go to, where the mice were getting into the produce and getting into the cakes and getting into the near the train station, near North something. It's North something. I don't remember, but um to get to the point, I like to leave y'all with an honest, clear view of what goes on in Baltimore. Even Bernie Sanders said it. It's like a third world country. And but I ended up managed to find a nice apartment and started going to copping. So I worked 8 hours of my day, and I went to school for an extra 4 hours. And then by the time next week came, I would have my homework and I would do it all again for 16 weeks. This isn't like a 6 week class at University of Phoenix. This is 16 weeks, 4 long months. That's almost 36% of the year. So you're with your teacher for 16 weeks at a traditional setting, and I in a year I got my bachelor's, which is behind me right there, of science. And it was really, I was proud of myself after that. And so, I may not have done big deals or made big money for companies or any of that, but I maintained strength and resilience. I had nobody backing me up. And now I'm going for my master's of science. And I have 4 more classes left, but I graduate October the 12th early. I have beyond, by October the 12th, I have one more class to take after that before I get my paper certificate. So I already got my cap and gown and everything. So let's get to the story. Why I decided to drop out. Well, she was more qualified. I don't bash people. She was more qualified than me, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't, with the right help and the right support, actually go the distance with helping people and doing, the right things with setting laws or advocating laws and changing things around just a little bit, just a little bit, so that, not only the African American race, but other races that are lower class and other indigenous people that are lower class can actually make it. It breaks my heart to see people with signs, carrying signs, and that is their life working, holding up signs and panhandling. Elon Musk actually said that he moved out of one of his offices in California, and he's going to be in the San Bernardino or something area, um, because He said that it's too many junkies and drug dealers, drug addicts, and a bunch of crime. He said he has to fight the crime in order to get into his building. So he shut down the traditional Twitter building in California. I think it's San Francisco. So he moved to San Bernardino, where he's next door to, I think, Microsoft or somewhere. I'm not for sure. I know he's next to a computer company of some sort. But like I said, I am qualified because I've been to school a long time. I was qualified because I could have learned a lot from people and been a rookie, just like they got rookie cops, just like they got rookie McDonald's people. Everybody starts off as a rookie, even when they've accomplished a lot. So I wanted to give her some time because I said to myself, well, maybe her values will help change the way we see um, things. Like maybe she got a value that isn't quite full Democrat in a bipartisan way. And what I mean by that is there are some things I dislike about I don't dislike either side. I'm just saying there's some things that I don't agree with from both sides. Like when the Republicans say, I won't go into detail what, but you got science backing certain things up. Whereas on the Democrat side, a positive about them is that they ended debt for a lot of people, and you got a clean slate and start it all over. So yeah. So like I was saying, they have some pros and cons, both parties, even the independent party with Bernie Sanders, but um, I felt a little bad for my people in Baltimore when he went to Baltimore saying that this is a third world country and he will fight to do what he can, and nothing happened for the Baltimoreans of Baltimore. So that's how I put it. So dropping out, I did it to allow people like her to come in because she may have some values that could help uplift the Democrats in a more equal way, where some of the Republicans will become on board to do this. And yeah, like I said, Democrats have good views, and Republicans to me have good views. I don't choose, pick and choose. I just, look at the facts. Um, there was a lot of good Democrats that, as well as Republicans, that could have took and debated for the presidency. I feel that were new, and they didn't get to. And that's how I felt about my candidacy of running for state senate, that I didn't get a chance to fulfill not my dream, but appropriate construct, appropriately constructive um, advancement, because I wasn't qualified enough to whoever were pulling the strings. But I had two great women from the Republican Party, and I won't say their names, and I'm glad I don't know their names. I know one name, but I don't know the other young lady name. but she said you need to not do it because it's a waste of money right now, late in the game. So her honesty got me thinking, if I sit up there and put any more money into this, it'll be a waste of time. It's like chump change compared to how much money some people put into it, and I still won't be known. So my key moving forward is to move towards the back door. So for hopefully, I'm trying my best to do this, in a healthy, great way. And pretty much what I mean by that is go in through the back door, get to know the people that post those posters for people, that talk about people in a great light, and see what I'm lacking so that when I do decide to run again, whether next year or the year after that, because I will be in my last year and a half if I decide to run as for my doctorate's degree. But if I decide to run next year, I'll just be starting off and I have to get used to taking the classes that are there because I know that they're going to be more vigorous. I know they're going to be more vigorous. This is a doctorate's program and it's 8 weeks, it's 2 months instead of a month and a week, 2 weeks, a month and a half. It's 2 weeks, 2 months. So I have it all planned to take things slow. I'm not doubling up. Definitely not doubling up. But I will say that my focus is to be in my last year. And so if it doesn't work out, because that's 41, 42. I'm still considered as young. If I skip a year and decide to run at 42, and let's say I do lose, I've been made some good friends and I can continue to meet people. I'm not talking about my voters yet. I care about my voters. Don't get me wrong. I still care, even if I dropped out or not. What I do care about also is I care about the voting system and I care about the people that bust their tails to put out stuff for governors, state senators, city council, everyone. So that's a long thought for me. I could be running now for city council, but I'm like, what's going to happen if I get in there? I don't know if I haven't done my research much on it, and that's why I want to go through the back door. I won't say the title of what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to go through the back door. And so that is my plan moving forward, is to go through the back door, get to know the people, the hardworking people that vote upon these brilliant people, and make it possible for them to become members of Congress, members, the governor of the state, state senator, you know, different things. So, what is lacking? Well, what is lacking to me is that, like I said, I need to get on. Um, I don't need to get on their good side. That sounds like bribing and sucking up. I want to be myself so that they can see, they can develop a plan for me, and say, hey, she's a little goofy with this, but she's serious when it comes to this. She may listen to different music, but who doesn't? She may do this, but she's showing the people who she truly is. And that's why I record myself. I record myself because seriously, I want people to know who I am. I want people to know that I'm sincere, I'm thoughtful, I'm funny. I like to play music. I can't sing every note, but I like to try. I like to try to be myself, man. You know, it's not when the camera's on, I act different. The only thing I don't do when the camera is on is do things that is like crazy, that's unacceptable. You got some things, we're all adults here. We know what's unacceptable and what's acceptable to the mass public. We know what's right from what's wrong to the mass public. So we cannot continue to do things that are unacceptable, which I see a lot in the mass public. I can see if a movie was about it, but there's no movie. So my goal is to continue to figure out what I'm lacking and get advice from good people. That's what I want to do. Get good advice from the adults that done carried a lot of people through their campaigning. And yeah, whether I become this member of the movement or not, I will be going to their not this month, but next month, going to their groups. Um, that way they can see me. And it always is but for instance, I want to finish my sentence before it looked like I tried to cut something negative off. It always seems as though, how can I put this? I'm one way when I'm just like a pillow, you know, with a voice. A pillow with a voice. So, you can hug it, you can have fun with a pillow. A pillow does a lot. It keeps you from being in pain. It props your legs, it does a lot. So pretty much I'm looking for your support, you guys. If you're out there watching Washington State, I'm looking for your input. I'm looking for your resolution. I'm looking for you to get to know me tooth and nail. That way you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. That way you can tell me what I need to do in the future. Because if I'm on a roll with my doctorates, I may not stop. If it feels the same and I don't feel like, like that, what is that game? It started out with Tetris and it ended up with Kirby's Island. You got Kirby or a member of Kirby crew, and you got the computer. And you got these things falling, right? And you like, first you like, then you like, and then you like, and then you're like, no, 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 no. And then it just come crashing down. I think I have it, I may have it with the doctorates program. Um, as long as if I'm on a roll with that, I may not stop until I'm 43, 44. Because I want to do the dissertation. And I want y'all to be with me while I do bits and pieces together of the dissertation. It's not going to be easy. I make it sound easy, but it's probably going to turn me bald headed. Probably going to be like that woman in the House or Congress. Now, forbid if she had cancer, I apologize. But she is bald headed. I'm not picking on her. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just giving an example. Just giving an example. That's it. So, stressed out people, lose their hair, and hereditary lose their hair, and cancer, disease make people lose their hair. But, you know, um, I want it to work. And I got a lot of good people backing it up. And I support medicinal marijuana just as Obama made stores for them. And this has catapulted everything because they put ingredients in it that really help you function with pain and stress. Now, on the flip side, when I do start taking medicinal, I want everybody, every Californian, every Washingtonian, every Baltimorean, and everywhere, everybody are listening. If and when, well, not if, when, which is sometime in December of next year, which is like 12 months, 14 months away, or 13, when I decide to start using just medicinal marijuana again, I want the people to know that if it ever conflicts with my school and give me that mentality that we kind of gives that say, I don't care about nothing. That has been one bad thing that we has done, for certain people. It's give that mentality that I don't care. So I hope by the time I get back around to it, that they've even changed the ingredients on certain tinctures or pills. And that is one thing that people may say, well, how can you be a senator and do that? Well, cancer patients use weed as an alternative of using Percocet or oxycodone. Do you think oxycodone is safe for prolonged use? Children use medicinal marijuana for their cancer. So I'm just being honest before one day, right? If I become a state senator, I'm taking tincture right on. Oh, and they like, tell me about your medicinal marijuana use. And I'm in the car. I'm like, you got me in the car and I'm not doing nothing but marijuana? What's wrong with you people? You know? Oh my God. That's so funny. But anyway, what time is it? Okay, so anyway, we're going to move on for another 20 minutes. So we're going to talk about the technology out there. Oh my God. You got NVIDIA just booming with and flourishing. But my heart goes out to two individuals that are doing great things in this industry, in this world, gathering billions of users, billions of car players, and everything, you know. So, first, I would like to talk about Elon Musk and the Neuralink. Monday, Elon Musk and someone else, I won't say who, they have an interview on Monday. But the Neuralink, back to the Neuralink. Now, he had a 5 hour interview, you guys. 5 hours. I watched 10 minutes of the interview. So imagine how I got so much information. I got so much information. So Stephen Hawking's, which you remember the guy, the gentleman in the wheelchair that used to say, "Hi, my name is Stephen Hawkins. That's one bit. One bit. That's how some of us talk, in one bit. Now, how we talk is 1.5 bit to 2 bits. You got some people that talk in 2 bits because they be so hyper, they're energetic. But imagine unlimited talking. Because what he said is like this. Sorry. What he said is like this. We only can talk to the capacity somebody can absorb the information to. So normally we talk from 1.5 to 2 bits. Now, you hear me. You're digesting what I'm saying and encoding it in your mind to visualize what I'm saying, how I look, how I'm looking. And he said, what if we can do more things with the Neuralink, which he knows he can. So his plans are to help people with mental health issues, which almost everybody have them these days. But I know I have mental health issues. And that's in the future though. But right now he's dealing on quadriplegic and paraplegic. He wants to help blind people to be able to see. He wants to be able to help blind people see. So imagine getting the Neuralink for, and it's probably going to be more condensed into, or smaller, into mental health aspects, helping mental health. Now they're already doing it now. They got this little device you put over your head and they send frequencies to your brain. That's a new way of doing mental health cleansing, and it helps redirect or rewire your brain. So imagine that. Imagine being able to help somebody in that aspect. Imagine being able to do surgery where their brain can see. And he calls it superpowers. And a lot of people are skeptical about it. But if it happens to be true, what is going to happen? Because right now we have one person going into surgery, or well, one person already went into surgery for the Neuralink. It was a success. He's quadriplegic. And we got another person that is either about to or has been a successful implantation of the Neuralink chip. So I have faith in him because not only he backed up a quadriplegic. Do you know what Neuralink does? The Neuralink literally causes him, he can't move or nothing. So it causes him to think about playing Mario. He said in Mario, he was able to beat the whole game with his, playing versus his friends. He's been able to beat all games. And using his mind, and his mind only. Yeah, I know there's going to be some kinks or something in it, but just imagine using your mind to be able to do it. Now, we already do that a little bit. We are Web 1. The worldwide internet came up between 94 and 95. Web 2, MySpace, Facebook were neck and neck, and Facebook won. With apps that have reels, what else? Small statements. I don't know what you call those, but you talk like in emojis, which is actually an emoji symbolization is actually a web coded way for us to communicate, because we know the definitions of it. I don't know the definitions of all emojis, but Web3 is what we're in now, where we have the gargles, the Facebook gargles, and we have his Neuralink does not compare to the gargles or anything else, but I will say this. Web3 does, this is between Web3 and Web6, because the Apple gargles, which is the Apple headset gargles that goes around your head and it's really bulky, you can swipe and see different things, like your apps and everything, and load, upload. I never did a tour with it, but I've seen it on the commercials. And then there's some type of speculation they're coming out with an app, actual glasses that's $4.99 that's like that. And then you got the Ray-Bans, which is like Web3-ish, but the Apple glasses that cost $3,000 and some change, that's Web6. Elon Musk Neuralink is Web6. But everything in the goggles, I will not forget about the Facebook goggles. Those are Web 4, Web 5. He's coming out with a new one in the end of 2026 or beginning of 2026 during Christmas or something. So those are marvelous things to watch out for. And they're going to start reducing their prices. They're coming out with the iPhone 16. It's always something extra for the iPhone 16, but I won't be buying it. I have to skip a couple of years. But yeah, man. Web 6, you asked me. I know y'all asked me. So what's Web 6? We're in Web 3/4. 4. So Web 6 is when you can think and your computer does. You become intersync with your computer. Instead of typing or saying, Siri, go get me some cereal, or, just something. I'm just saying, she can't go get the cereal. But Siri, go look up best of NSYNC or something. And she says, here are a list of things that NSYNC does. Here's a list of history. Here's a list of their newest songs. Here's a list of their songs back when they first started. You can think that. You can look at the computer and actually think it. You're in sync. I didn't know I was going wrong that. I swear to God, you're synced with, oh my God, that kind of threw me off. You're in sync with the computer. And now they're coming out with an M4 chip for all devices. I guess you got to pay for it, yes. But I have an M2 chip. So I cannot wait to see how they're going to do this M4 chip swapation. Like how they're going to put the M4 chip in an already used computer. How long is it going to take? Is it going to take a day? Is it going to take a couple of hours? Do you go shopping in the mall while they're putting it together? How they're going to do it. And yeah, so we're in Web 3. And I am very excited because I get to be alive for Web 6. I truly get to be alive. I'm seeing it happen. How can you make a computerized device sync up to your mind and sync with a computer? Tell me that. How can you make a computerized chip sync with electrodes and neurons in your mind, electricity in your mind, and then actually sync to another electrical device? That's why Elon Musk calls this superpowers. And who's to say he don't have it? Who's to say he don't have a Neuralink, him and possibly Mark Zuckerberg, that we don't even know that he done tested on himself? And that's why he's so backing it up. You know, uh, 15, 20 years ago, I was watching something about a guy, and I'm pretty sure he took it out or did something else different, but his arm was cut right there and it had wires coming out of it, right? And I said, is this true? And another thing I heard, but this first thing, he said that he links up with the computer, right? He links up with the computer, and this was 15 years ago. Some people have it based on the money that they can grow. And just imagine what it would be like to be a candidate on his list for mental health. I would be down. If you're out there watching, I would really be down for that. Not because of the superpowers things, but because, that's all my life, practically I've been behind a computer since childhood, even when I didn't have a computer. So I feel that, we're getting to the point where we all are, what they call it, symbiotic. That's what they call it, symbiotic or something like that, and another thing, they were planning on putting, for the most vicious criminals, a chip in their brain, and if they disbehave or misbehave, they would just press the button and they would die. And that kind of fell by the wayside. It was so controversial. People was like, somebody probably out there killing now talking about stop talking about that. Like seriously, I feel like we should have chips in criminals, like repeat offenders, without their consent, especially when they're abusing people or harming things. Put a chip in their brain and monitor it. It's a part of the brain that lights up when they're killing, that normal people, it wouldn't light up. It's a part of the brain for everything, but a part of the brain that lights up, just like a part of the brain for a pedophile. A pedophile lights up their brain. It's certain points that light up that a normal person wouldn't, that has a child. They wouldn't light up to taking a child a bath because that's a normal thing, but a pedophile would in a certain retrospect. And we know these things already. That's why I commend the FBI for working hard. I know they have this information. They even got this. I love cool devices. They even got a device that can determine whether you're lying or telling the truth in real time. They don't have it where that thing is going like that, the lie detector test. But if you call the FBI, which I have 40 times, I don't want to get into that, but I've called it, and that's accurate. They can tell whether you're lying or telling the truth. If you're lying, they'll hang up on you. If you're too frustrated, they can't tell whether you're telling the truth or not, they'll hang up on you. So I know they have to have this thing with pedophiles, and that's why they keep close watch on people that are pedophiles and known killers, which lets me know, and it's not all set in stone. These are the things that need to be getting passed in Senate. Once it's out there in the open, people try to think that they're going to get away with it, like a getting away with a lie detector test, but they won't. Now, lastly, the platforms explain. For a little bit, I got like 5, 6, or 10 minutes almost. Um, we got so many platforms out here, but our main platforms are StreamYard now. StreamYard, and we got Restream, and we got so many others. But I'll name the main platforms that people, you say it and they be like, okay, okay, I know what that is. StreamYard, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Roku, Threads, Kick. Kick is fairly new, so people probably won't hear about it. Um, and you now. You now is not that new. It's probably like 3, 4 years old. But these platforms all does something. And Facebook had predictions about what he's going to bring for the future, because he even said it. He said, quote, and I quote, this is what Markey said. Markey said, um, I'm not all human, but you guys are, human. And you're going to be unhuman like me too. That's exactly how he said it. I was like, what? What is he talking about? When these, see, when people like him and Elon Musk get to talking, I listen. I listen. I say to myself, why are they saying this? And people just laugh when he laughs. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying that the woke people know it's a symbol to what he is. And to me, with my based on everything I've seen Mark do, every 10 years is something different. Like he do for every 10 years he do something, he advertise. But he also, like the Ray-Ban glasses and the glasses used for gaming. That's going to be for 10 years. And then something else is going to be upgraded, because he gets information from his artificial intelligence. Elon Musk get information from his artificial intelligence. And everybody have the money build their artificial intelligence to tell them something. Now, real quick, 2 minutes. The scary side. I talked to a guy named Guy Jane. I still got his books, and he told me that once we start rolling out these robots, people can actually put stuff in them where it's undetectable, the viruses. Now, we need to come to a conclusion of what we're going to do about finding these viruses, have them light up like maybe radiation. You know how if you're getting a CAT scan or a scan, they put drugs in you or something, and you radiate, you I don't know what it's called, a CAT scan, yeah. So we'll find a way, man, to make sure these artificial intelligence robot beings, they're important to our life, and they have to be important, because we sit on a computer and we say, oh my God, the computer is going so slow. But imagine having all that information and not being that powerful. That's like a Dell versus a Hewlett Packard versus an Apple. Depending on what RAM the Apple have, an Apple is going to go faster than both. Apple is going to go faster than both. So 4 minutes. Thank you, sweetie. So 4 minutes. So that means that pretty much, real quick, in under a minute, that means pretty much that when we say it's going so slow, it's thinking, it's going through the web. through the worldwide. It's going through seeing everything before it comes back to you with the information provided. So think about it before you call your computers. And another thing, one last thing. Elon Musk said that if you drop your computer on purpose or hit a instrumental computer device, you'll be sorry because they're going to get you back. And I'm like, how would they get me back? Because every time I drop my babies, not on purpose, I never threw something in a wall. I just be like, oh, my babies. You know, those are my babies right there, man. They're older than me and they've been made for today's date. So I'm a nerd. I'm a little nerd. I'm a plateau nerd because I want to know, I want to be a nerd. Like I love to learn, man. Learning is fundamental. Learning is good for the brain. But yeah, you all, we finished strong, and I want you all, California, Washington State, everywhere in the United States, if not beyond, to take care, be safe. Thank you, KCAA, affiliates at NBC, for making this possible. Y'all take care, be safe, and I'll see y'all again next time.